Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's me, Dumbo of the Don't Talk Anime channel, here today with our weekly Charlotte episode reaction. And today's episode was, I must say, quite really interesting in a way. So, we all, from last two episodes, were all about that Ayumi, like, trip and stuff, and then, like, you going out like crazy and stuff. And I was like, okay, now that that's all over, what's there for the series? I mean, something must seriously happen, considering there's like, what, 13 episodes in total, and there's like 5 left from now. So I was like, okay, what are they gonna do after that whole stuff with you and like going crazy and stuff? So he goes back to school. He wakes up. He's saying his goodbyes to Aimi. He's like, okay, I'm off. He's like accepted that Aimi's dead in a sort of way, and he goes to school. And since he's gone to school for the first time in like a while, I think he's met by everyone, by the student council, his classmates. He just sees like the whole classroom and stuff, like the whole school setting. And I think this episode was sort of like more of a chilled episode, or like a relaxing, like a filler, I guess. Not like a filler, but like a relaxing episode after what happened with, the last episode, episode 7. So yeah, this is just like more of a episode. He's like him coming back to like back from his, like, his dilemma and stuff. So they go to school, and then you have like the whole school, like normal school life, right? Where you're like, oh, the guys are talking about Yusa, and then they go eat lunch together. Megane-kun goes teleports and like gets lunch, and he's bleeding when he eats. It's like, yeah, it seems like the normal school routine to me. But then, like, afterwards, it's like you is sort of okay with this, and they're sort of like, he sees this as like them trying to cheer him up after, like, the whole thing with Ayumi still, but and they're just kind of happy that he's back and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool, because now we see a lot more character development with you, and I'll explain that a little bit more in detail later. So afterwards, the Megane-kun and you are eating lunch, eating curry, and they get a text from Tamori that they have to go to the student council. It's like, okay, so they're gonna find someone with powers today. Okay, I got this. So they go there, and they don't. The helper guy, does not come. Instead, they watch one of Yusa's music videos for her new songs or whatever. We watched that, and then apparently it's like a critique-esque kind of thing where they basically just talking about it and stuff. And we see this funny routine and group talk with the whole student council, and it's just really funny. I thought it was funny, at least. So afterwards, they learned that, yeah, the helper guy is not coming today. I just wanted everyone here to come because Tamori had 2 tickets to a Z End, whatchamacallit, Z End concert band group thing. And basically, if you don't know what Z End is the band that Tamori likes and that you started liking in episode 5. If you haven't seen that yet, then go check that out. So yeah, she has 2 tickets, and she's like, okay, who wants to go with me? Who do I go with? And of course, I instantly knew that you had to go, because Misa didn't like, Yusa didn't like post rock, technically. Misa is like, meh. Megane-kun doesn't really have any interest in it, so I was like, yes, you gotta go with Tamori to see this band. And I was like, okay, this seems like a sort of like date-ish kind of thing, something like episode 5 when they get together and like they're gonna get closer and stuff, right? So I was like, okay, I see how this episode is. So that's set up for tomorrow, or next episode technically. So after that, Yu is going home, right? He's going home, and he sees this girl with red hair, and I don't know if you can see this thing on my TV, but I guess not. So you see this girl with red hair who is blind and is walking down the street, and he takes notice of her, right? And she's just like, wait a minute, isn't this the girl? And like, we all know who this is technically. So she follows her, right? Or she takes her around to find this like yakisoba stop. She basically, you takes this girl to like, as a tourist, around places to go eat and just look around and stuff. So yeah, they go eat at some kind of like noodle ramen tamiyaki shop. I don't exactly know what it was. What the hell? Anyways, he learns that this girl that's blind and walking around is the lead singer for Zien, the band that he and Tamori likes, and that was really pure cool. I don't know how to put this, but I kind of figured from the start, it's like, okay, so who do I know that's blind? And, well, never mind, I didn't know. So yeah, he finds out that this is the singer for the band they like, right? And he's like, "Oh my goodness, I'm going to your band tomorrow." I was like, "What are you doing here? Don't you have a concert or I said to rest up for the concert tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah," but instead, he takes her around as a tourist, like not showing her the ropes and just places around, right? And then eventually it goes to this conversation where I forgot her name for crying out loud. So she asks, she notices you about like his whole idea, his whole situation with Ayumi, right? And basically, they just spend the whole day together, like talking and stuff. And it seems like an interesting approach. I'm not sure. I think this is all set up for next episode, most likely, because you got the tickets for the what's it called the concert tomorrow, and then you meet the singer, and then it's like why would you need these two things? And then like even if you got the concert, why did you have to meet the singer in this episode? Well, there's other stuff that happens in this episode. So besides the point of like the whole setup for this episode for next one, um, you actually comes up with this great idea to take the singer and bring her to Mori's brother in the hospital, and I don't know what exactly Tamori was doing in this whole episode because she was like just walking around doing something. We don't know. Who knows? But yeah, he comes up with this idea. He's asking Tamori's permission to do this, so and hoping that he might respond to something or he might actually like do something like out of his like trauma sane state whatever thing, right? So afterwards, Yu takes the singer to the hospital. I can't believe I forgot her name after this episode. She takes her to the hospital, and we have the scene here on my TV where when they get there, he is ripping out the paper, the pillows and like the feathers and stuff, or he's composing in a way. So then this is really interesting. So basically, she sings one of her songs. She sings the song in episode 5, and um, singing that is just like afterwards he calms down and he seems to be more responsive and less of his weird state now because he like says Nao's name, he says Tamori's name, and then he's like talking about his sister, and then after that whole event, Tamori comes over, and then just because she's like alerted by the hospital and nurses saying that oh your brother's condition changed, he recognizes her, etc. So Yu's plan worked. And then afterwards, the singer has to go back because she's been out too late, and her whole company is like, "Where have you been?" And then she takes her away. And then Yu's just going home, and he gets a call from Tamori, and she's saying thank you for this whole thing that he did, and it worked. So that was the end of the episode, and honestly, this episode was really interesting as a turn of like after what happened in episode 7. As I said, it's more of a relaxing and chilled episode after what happened last time with you. But I also feel that this is all set up for the next episode, and that something will happen then because there's only 5 episodes left. So, yeah. I mean, even if the case happened where they got the ZN tickets, right? What would have happened if they didn't meet the singer? Why would they have to go that far? Well, I mean, technically, besides the point where meeting the brother, but I mean, why did they have to put the singer in this episode? Why did they do that? Unless something will happen in the next episode, something huge will happen, which is most likely the concert. But besides that, there's a lot of character development in this episode and like so far in the series now because Yu is starting to realize how different he is. All right, small cut here. Do not let the change of clothes and the drink change anything. Basically, the story is my phone died while I was recording. I had to go charge it, and I went out somewhere at the time of charging. Okay, so the last thing I was talking about was how you was like the character development in this series so far. So basically, you has noticed his development, and a lot of like, well, the singer as well has noticed the development in you because of how in the beginning, you was like was a cheater, and like he was like someone who would like he would like put other people in harm's way. He wouldn't care about other people, etc. Right? But then he starts singing. He's like, "Oh wow, I'm helping out people. I'm like really different, and I wonder why I'm so different." And oh, maybe it's because of Tamori, and that's like the only reason I can think of because of why I'm so different now compared to back then. So I like that. Like in the beginning, I honestly didn't like her character, but up to this point now, this build up, this new development that he's gone through, I used pretty much cool, and I like his character. I mean, in episode 7, I was just like, oh my gosh, how could you do this? Please stop doing this now. Like, who's gonna save you? And I was like, yeah, I like this character. And now he's like, yeah, I didn't notice this change until now. He mentioned it. I was like, oh, I guess he did change ever since episode 1. So yeah, there is that. And then Tamori, he's like really talking about Tamori a lot, which, many people could think about that. But for Tamori's case, she seems really more different in some way. I don't know how different, but like she's more like friendly, or like there's just something about Tamori that's changed a little bit after with meeting you, I guess. But I mean, mostly in this series, we got more development with you. And so there's that. So with all that done, I don't exactly remember what I did. So yeah, at the end of the episode, Tamari calls you. He's like, "Oh, thank you. We still up for the thing tomorrow, the concert?" And like, yeah, we are. And then that's the episode ends. And I think I talked about already how everything is so far. So yeah, with 5 episodes left in the series, I'm really curious as to how they're going to end this series and what they're going to do in these 5 episodes. Okay, so I imagine 5 episodes left. Okay, the next episode is the concert. Maybe something happens like after the concert, which will lead to like 3 episodes worth of like this conflict situation thing, and then the last episode where the ending happens and the conclusion, and that's I think that's possible. I mean, I don't know how this is gonna work out, but yes, that's basically how I think about this series. This series will be ending soon. Unfortunately, I really hoped it to be like 24 episodes long, but no, it's going like the 13 Angel Beats episodes, and yeah, I don't know when this series is gonna end, but thank you guys for watching this episode reaction review thing. I'm going to come back next week. Yes, next week for the episode 9, and then Gakugurashi, and etc. If you guys haven't, follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is in the link in the description below. I am trying to use the Twitters, even though I've just used it recently. If you haven't liked the video because I like Charlotte, and if you like Charlotte, then like this video. And if you haven't subscribed, or tell a friend, and I'll see you guys on the next video on the Don't Talk Anime channel. So take care, guys, and matane. Oh wait.